Hi, I'm Dimple Dhabalia, founder of Roots in the Clouds and author of the best-selling book, Tell Me My Story, Challenging the Narrative of Service Before Self. Here are 5 things I wish someone would have told me when I first started out. Number 1, take a few minutes every day to simply sit in silence. Now, this isn't about turning off your thoughts, which is absolutely impossible, but it's about changing your relationship to them. Taking as little as 10 minutes every day to be still allows us to develop mindful awareness, which we absolutely need in order to practice self-compassion and to regulate our emotions, especially during times of stress, crisis, and uncertainty. It really allows us to become the best versions of ourselves as leaders and as human beings. Number 2, practice self-compassion and let go of perfectionism. Simple, but not easy. So mindful awareness is what allows us to see our own humanity and the humanity of others. Self-compassion is what enables us to accept it. So self-compassion teaches us to take the kindness that we typically reserve for other people and turn it around and use it for ourselves. And the more that we practice self-compassion and accept that as human beings, we are not perfect and we are going to make mistakes, the easier it becomes to treat the people around us with compassion too. Number 3, be curious, not judgmental. Now, if you are as big of a TED head, or for those not familiar with it, a fan of the popular TV show Ted Lasso, then this particular one probably sounds a little familiar to you. But for me personally, I try to remind myself as often as possible that most people do not wake up in the morning, stretch their arms up above their head and declare, "Today I am going to go out into the world and be mediocre." Right? The truth is, most people are genuinely doing the best that they can in a given moment. And while their best may differ from our own, and it may change from one moment to the next, it's more likely than not that they're doing all that they can in light of their current circumstances. So curiosity is what helps us look beyond those surface level interactions or reactions without judgment, so that we can actually connect more deeply. It helps us to create bridges of trust with the people around us by simply taking a breath to reset our nervous systems before we react in a challenging situation, or asking questions rather than making assumptions about reactions or motives. And as trust builds over time, so do our feelings of safety and autonomy and dignity as human beings. And with this trust, we can start to take off the mask that many of us hide behind and actually connect more deeply with the people around us. Number 4, boundaries are not selfish. They are gifts of clarity. So most of us were not taught the benefits of boundaries as children. And now as adults, being able to honor our limits through boundary setting can feel rude or aggressive or selfish. But boundaries aren't any of these things. They are gifts of clarity that help us create accountability over our time and energy. They allow us to feel safe and respected, both physically and emotionally. And really, they're the heart of self-care, which protects us from burnout and exhaustion and illness, and really allows us to flourish and thrive. So it takes time, space, and compassion to get used to setting boundaries for ourselves. But the more that we practice doing this, the easier it becomes over time to hold them for ourselves and to respect those that are set by others. And finally, number 5, your self-worth is not tied to productivity or accomplishments. So I have been very fortunate to travel extensively around the world and meet a lot of people. And what these experiences have taught me is that at our core, we all yearn to be seen, valued, and connected to something meaningful. And it's taken me years and a lot of heartache to understand that my work is what I do. It's not who I am, and it doesn't define me as a person. And that my worthiness for love and belonging in this world isn't solely based on my professional achievements or output. Understanding this broader perspective has been so liberating, and it's allowed me to love and appreciate who I am as a whole human being. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that these 5 things that I wish someone would have told me when I first started help to spark something in you.